For today's first session, we have our lovely author, Dr. Shalini Malik, with us for her book, Stars from the Borderless Sea. And she will be in conversation with Parul Mahajan. Shalini Malik is an avid reader who enjoys writing in the time that she manages to steal from her other life as a doctor specializing in respiratory pathology. Shalini has written fictions for various platforms and publications. She won the Orange Flower Award 2022 for short fiction and the Orange Flower Award 2021 writing in the LGBTQ+ category. She has contributed two to the stories anthology Sharing Lipstick and two in the anthology Women Mutiny. She was one of the winners of She Short Story Contest in October 2020. She has been awarded by the Jury Appreciation Citation at the 12th Lardley Media Award for Gender Sensitivity 2022. Our host, our moderator, Parul Mahajan. She is Head of Advocacy, Government Relations, Industry Partnerships and International Relations at National Skills Development Corporation. She is also advisor to Delhi Lit Fest. 2 lines about the book. Stars from the Borderless Sea, a debut novel of Dr. Shalini, is a collection of 3 separate stories, Sayuni, Humsafar and Hamraz. 3 women heroes in each categories are well-settled, independent and strong women. And the book is a soulful portrayal of love, life and search of happiness. So with that, I'll hand over the stage to Shalini and Parul, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Meenuji, for introducing us. And I welcome all of you to the 11th edition of the Delhi Literature Festival. And as Meenuji rightly said, that today we are on the 3rd and the final day of the festival. And we are going to start this day with this beautiful book called Stars from the Borderless Sea, which Dr. Shalini Malik has written. Thank you, Dr. Shalini, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Parul, and the entire team here. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Dr. Shalini, your book is about the most universal human emotion, and that is love.
Yes.
You're a doctor by profession, an eminent and accomplished pathologist.
That's right.
So, generally, one would think that if a doctor, gets on to writing, he would write something related to science or wellness. But you chose a completely different topic. You chose love. So, tell us about it. What inspired you to write a book on love?
So I think that's a very relevant question, and I have written about health and wellness and other things, but this book, and like you say, this apparent contrast is actually a reflection of all of us. All of us have different parts to ourselves, the hard and the soft, the tough and the gentle, the professional and the personal. And sometimes we realize that, or we express that through our writing. So this was a way of getting in touch with my own softer side, the side which is not bound by, science and dogmas per se. So that is why I chose this book. Also, this is a book which was written during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, all of us were so disturbed, right? And we were all in this chaotic situation. So I wanted a feel-good vibe, and I wasn't getting it anywhere. So I think that, what we see, what we hear, we respond to that. So this book is just a response to today's times and the world we live in.
And I also think that during the COVID, we all, went through a lot of mental trauma as well. Because that was the time when we needed to hug each other, be close to our loved ones, and that was the time when we were actually, made to stay away from our loved ones, social distancing and everything. So I think that really impacted the human mind to a great extent. So I think that time one felt that the relationships are so important. Otherwise we are, all living in this mad world where we are all running in a race, don't know where to go. But that actually made us stop and think what life really is. what is the purpose of life, and what is the reality of life.
Yeah.
So seeing so many people just going just like this, that made us realize the worth and the value of people and relationships. So was that a factor that triggered you during the pandemic to write a book?
Very true. When we look back and you think about what's really important, I mean, your job, yes, it's important. The personal goals that you set for yourself, those also are really important. But what is it that every person craves for? Love, right? In today's day and age, it is a holy grail. If you ask, I'm sure if you ask a room full of people, what do you want, money or love? More than half will say love, right? So that was what is the core of all of us. That is what connects all of us, right? And that is, like you said, it came out in the pandemic where we all did this internal reality check for us.
And it also talks about that true love, the mature love. Tell us more about that.
Yes, absolutely. So this book is a story about love, but it is not a young, peppy romance. It's a mature romance which has endured over time. And that's what relationships are all about, right? This book also brings to the fact that all of us, like Parul said, love is a universal emotion. But if I pass this mic and I ask each one of you, what is love to you? Everyone will have a different answer. And all those answers are valid. Because that is your feeling. That is how you manifest love. I may manifest it differently, but the feeling remains the same. So that is what I want. And this is something that we come to after we live our lives. We pass through so many stages and struggles. So that is what are the protagonists. They are older women and men, say in their 50s, and they're looking back on their lives, on their loves. And they're seeing how those relationships impacted them. Because if you are in love, true love, it is the best form of yourself, right? And that obviously you will achieve more, you will do more, you will grow more. So it's a reflection of that.
It's more about companionship and the true love kind of a thing. Not like today is the age of Tinder and dating apps. So then love is also like a fast food, use and throw, and friendships and relationships are also more for benefits and mutual this thing. So in that world, in that age that we are living in, so I think it is important that you write a book which really talks about the human emotions and the real essence of love, what it is.
So that's very true, exactly. Like she said, it's like fast food. But what we are looking for, whether it is food or love, is the same. It is something deep inside. Fast food we are consuming because we are getting it, but it is not satisfying us. So same is with this whole thing. Aajkal situationship, I understand, is a new word. And all these new trends which keep coming in. But deep down, nothing has changed. What a person craves for from being loved remains the same. So if you ask me if I can summarize the book in one word, it is about a soulmate. And that is what Parul said, that companionship, where you feel that you have a companion, even if physically you are not with the person, and you feel connected at the level beyond that of a daily interaction. That is possible. And I think that is what a lot of people are looking for and not finding in these fast times, and you swipe right and swipe left, but it's still not happening. So yes, that is what the book is all about.
So one more thing which is very distinct and unique about your book is that it is a collection of novella length stories.
Yes.
Generally either there are novels or there are short stories. So what is this concept all about, and why did you choose this format for your book?
So I wanted to show different manifestations of love. For example, you can find love and perfect companionship even in an arranged marriage which has gone through phases of turbulence in the beginning after working through it. You can have found your love as early as being a college student, and it can give you strength all your life. Or you can find love later in life. Love remains love. So that was the binding force for the three stories to come together. And another thing which is again similar to what we just talked about. One is a businesswoman, one is a busy doctor, the third one is an entrepreneur who started her own jewelry business. But what sets them apart, and what I think made it resonate with the readers, was that they are very strong women. They do not give up. They have faced challenges, small ones, big ones, and they find their own way. And I think lot of women in India are doing that. You are not able to rebel. You can't rebel openly because you have your own priorities, you have your own constraints. But you find your way, little by little. You do what it is that makes you whole, and you break barriers. So a lot of women are doing this, and I think that is why the people were able to resonate with these three characters. And it's not just the women, even the men in the stories are the kind of people you meet. See, a woman writing women's stories is often interpreted as that the male characters will not be well defined, or they will be very stereotypical. I think that this is not true. Men and women have the same feelings. We've just been conditioned to express them differently. So men will also experience love. Men also crave love, right? But they don't have the sanction to express it, to say it as openly as we do. So the men also come across as people with these nuances, people with these layers. Because we are people, we are humans, whether it's men or women. So I think that is what has resonated. And then there is no right or wrong. If I have a situation to deal with, I'm just doing what is best at this moment. You can probably think that you would have done it differently, but then that's where you are coming from, right? So I have tried not to judge my characters, even when they're making unconventional choices, because only the person who's made that choice knows. No one else knows.
So you've also quoted Rumi a lot in your book.
Yeah.
So do you derive any inspiration from his writings? And what made you choose Rumi, to be quoted in a lot of places in your book?
I love Rumi's poetry. I think most of us years ago, and we are still talking about it. So love is timeless. Rumi is timeless, and I want to believe that reading is timeless too.
And I think your book can also be timeless.
That is for our readers to, show it some love. But yes, so I do, really feel that Rumi manages to say in 2 lines what all of us say in 2 days. And I have always enjoyed Rumi's
poetry. So which is your favorite quote from Rumi?
I will not choose one. There are 4 in the book. Let's wait for the readers to tell me which one they like the most.
Okay. Sure. So you're also very fond of reading and poetry. So who are your favorite authors and poets?
Again, that is probably the most difficult question any reader has asked to answer, right? Choose a favorite. So I read everything. I don't have one favorite author or book. I think like love, again, it depends. It depends on my frame of mind. It depends on what is happening in my life. So my favorite books change, and some
OTT platforms, अगर अभी भी कोई किताबें पढ़ रहा है, it's really good. Then the touch and the feel and the fragrance of paper, the moment you enter a bookshop, that fragrance only, makes you forget everything. So we'll open the house for questions from the audience. So, would you like to ask any questions?
Yeah, you just mentioned there are 2 lady characters, central ones. One of them is a doctor. So can we presume that it has drawn inspiration, or in any way it is closer to your personal, being yourself?
No. I think when we are writing fiction, all our characters are a synthesis of so many people, so many things. So no, it isn't me. The background is me. The background, where she's working. So the background, the hospital and all, yes, I do have an insider's view. But the person that my characters are, they are their own person.
Yes, you wanted to ask something.
Because it's beautiful, it's short, and very wholesome.
Yes.
And leading a truthful life, because whatever you say will come back to you, right? So what is this? He needed to know the truth. Does one really need to know the truth for love to survive?
I think that's a very, very important and a very loaded question, right? But before that, I want to say that everyone has their own truth, for every situation. So if he really needed to know the truth, which truth did he really need to know? You also need to know your truth before you go searching for someone else's, right? And lies, there is a whole spectrum of lies, from white lies to cheating. It's very difficult, again, for the outsider to assess the effect of those lies on a relationship. In a relationship, and this is something that I believe very, very strongly, even the two people hardly know and hardly understand what's going on. The dynamics, the baggage, where we are coming from, what we are responding to. So for a third person to try and guess the truth or the truth of that relationship is almost impossible. So like she said, I don't know how important it is to know the other person's truth, but finding out your own truth can be very difficult, but it's very, very important for any relationship of yours to succeed. Thank you.
Any more questions there? Oh wow, this is for us, for the new session.
The rain god has stopped.
Post the session.
This is because the rain got.
तो जब मैं आपकी किताब पढ़ रही थी तो मेरे जहन में जगजीत सिंह साहब के गजल आई। Any guesses? Which one?
तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो क्या हमने
ना उम्र की सीमा, ना जंग ना हो बंधन, जब प्यार करे कोई तो देखे केवल मन। तो जब सच्चा प्यार करते हैं तो सिर्फ मन देखते हैं, भाव देखते हैं, भावनाएं देखते हैं। तो ये आपकी किताब जो मुझे लगा कि इस गाने से बहुत ज़्यादा रेजोनेट
बिल्कुल, ये पारुल ने बिल्कुल सही उसको उसमें उतारा है, क्योंकि love is something which is defined by the heart and the soul. Relationship, marriage, ये सब is defined by society. Love does not know any borders. It does not know borders of age, like she said, of society, of class. Yes, of class, even of gender, of race, of nationality. प्यार ये सब नहीं जानता, क्योंकि ये सब बाद में आया, ये सब हमने बनाया, right? So that is the answer. I think ये पारुल ने बहुत अच्छी बात है. Thank you.
You have a question.
So out of these three protagonists, independent living, so when you were writing and researching about these characters, which one was the most difficult portrait, and write about?
So in my last story, which is called Hamsafar, the protagonist is a lady called Mahima. And I won't give away spoilers, but she takes a very difficult decision of starting a relationship after her marriage. And it's a very unconventional decision given the society that we live in. So she was the most difficult for me to write, because whenever we do something different, we are liable to be judged. So her choices, her problems in life, and her responses to her problems were such that there was a very strong chance that the reader, with their conventional sensibilities, might judge her. And I did not want anyone to judge her. She's doing what she's doing. And luckily that has not happened. So for me, writing her character was very nuanced. I had to step back and think that, she needs to follow her heart. So is my character following her heart or not? Or is she giving in to all the, dogmas that we are bombarded with from day one? So that was a challenge.
So I'll ask a personal question. How many times have you experienced love in your life?
Okay, so there's this theory जो कहती है कि all of us have 6 soulmates apparently. So the soulmate does not need to be romantic love. You can find a soulmate at work with someone whom you connect. The work-related side of you connects beautifully. You can even find a very good friend of the same or opposite gender with whom, you complete each other's sentences. So there is actually a theory that says that we have about 6 soulmates, all of us. So I met some and I'm waiting for some.
Wonderful, that was a good one. So, always it's very important to find the right kind of people. And I think, I believe in past life connect.
Yes.
So I always feel that we meet so many people, but we get connected to only a few. So do you think that there is some spiritual connect, some spiritual bond that we, connect with that certain particular person when he's our soulmate?
I don't know the reason, but it is true that with some people we connect instantly. And even on social media, I mean, we all criticize social media so much, but you do find genuine connect in just a few posts with some people, very few. So we do connect instantly without being able to put a finger on why. I don't know whether it is a past life or it is the present which is calling us, could be both. But it happens. And when you feel that connection, it enriches you. And that is very important because you grow with these connections as a person.
Any more questions? All the please.
So I have also noticed the various nuances of relationships in this. It's about love and it's about a deeper relationship.
Yes.
And also you have picked up a very important point of communication. That ultimately when people are living together for years, but still there are so many walls.
True.
There's such a lack of communication. So with all this interaction around us, how does one bridge that communication gap which still exists?
Very true. It still exists and it harms our relationships. It stops us from our relationships being the best that there can be. And I think the only way to do this is to step out of our comfort zone. You come out of your comfort zone. You don't think, "Ki, if I say this, will I be judged?" Corollary is, of course, that for this, the other person has to give you that space. See, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. But that is only possible in an environment where it is conducive. So both people have to work together so that we can express ourselves honestly. We may be right, we may be wrong, but we should be able to say what we feel without a fear of being judged for that. And hopefully that is the first step to communication.
All the young girls out there, no questions on love? This is your age. Yes, we have a question there.
You said there's no age for love.
Yeah.
How do you?
But age which is more vulnerable to fall in love.
This is a slightly naughty question. Are we allowed to fall in love when we are married, when we have kids?
Wow.
You read the book, please, first. You'll find your answer there, honestly. But the only person who needs to allow you to do something or not allow you to do something is you. That answer is within you, not within me. And in the book. It's there in the book.
So you have to buy the book, read it, and also buy it today so that you can get signed it. You get it signed
And
from
let me
Dr.
know what you
Shalini.
inferred. Right.
Dr. Amna, what are your views on love? We would all want to know.
Thank you to my very dear friend Parul and all the wonderful people here at the Delhi Literature Festival. Greetings, good afternoon, namaskar everyone. Hi to all the wonderful students. Love is a very beautiful feeling. And it is very important to always cultivate and nurture the soul. आपको जो अपने अंदर का एक जो भाव है, जो आत्मा है, उसको हमेशा सुंदर रखना है. और वो सुंदर रखने का जो तत्व है वो प्यार है. प्यार केवल मनुष्य या पुरुष ऐसे नहीं, जो टू व्हाट अमित जी वाज सेइंग, लव शुड नॉट बी जस्ट रिड्यूस टू अ मैन वर्सेस विमेन. आप प्रकृति से प्यार कर सकते हैं, आप पशु पक्षी से प्यार कर सकते हैं, आप फिटनेस से प्यार कर सकते हैं, योगा से प्रेम कर सकते हैं. सो लव इज परवेसिव, इट्स एवरीवेयर अराउंड. एंड आई थिंक इट्स वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट नाउ डेज बिकॉज वी आर लिविंग इन टाइम्स वेयर हमारे पास हर चीज़ की सूचना तो है, लेकिन हर परेशानी का समाधान नहीं है. पहले ज़माने में होता था, जैसे अपने बड़े बुजुर्ग दादा दादी नाना नानी से बात करो, वो कहते हैं कि उनके पास सूचना कम होती थी लेकिन रास्ते निकल जाते थे, बैठकर हर चीज़ निपट गई. बट टुडे दैट इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रीविजिट दैट वेरी बिग ह्यूमन टू ह्यूमन कनेक्ट. एंड आई थिंक लव ऑलवेज इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. इट ऑलवेज नीड्स टू बी नर्चर्ड. पौधे की तरह इसको हमेशा आपको पानी देना होता है, और ये केवल एक स्तर पर नहीं है. इट हैज़ टू बी कंसिस्टेंट. Just like your smile, so vibrant, always adding more to things. Yeah, thank you so much.
It couldn't have said in a better manner. Bharti Didi, what is your this thing on love?
After Dr. Ramna having explained it in such great details, I think I'll just keep it short and say that I quite agree with her, So each one of us No, like Dr. Shalini was saying here, each one of us, have to. It's very personal and it is very subjective. How you look at things. So I leave it to each one of us here. My love is my love, and your love will be your love. So like that, I'll leave it at that.
To each his own. Minu ji.
I think I have a very, very different views here. Like Dr. Ramna said कि पहले हमारी दादी नानियों के पास समाधान होते थे, सूचना कम होती थी. I think पहले लोग इतना बोल नहीं पाते थे खुल के. Ladies were suppressed. और एक लेडी ही लेडी को suppressed भी रखती थी.
Definitely.
आज भी है वो, right?
Definitely.
आजकल की लेडीज खुल के बोलती हैं. सिर्फ पुरुष नहीं बोलते, आजकल लड़कियां भी औरतें भी बोलती हैं. और उनको किसी से है तो वो चढ़ाव के बोलती है. They don't hide. So this is my view on love. And I think जितना प्यार में अपनी एक स्टेला, शी इज़ माई पेट, उससे करती हूँ ज़िंदगी में किसी से नहीं करती. सो दिस इज़ माई डेफिनेशन ऑफ लव.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
It need not be a man or
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
man-woman thing. It can be with anything. It can be with yourself. It can be with God. It can be with nature. Anything, and everything. And I think love also makes us very happy. When we are in love, we're always excited, looking forward to the next time you're meeting the person, always getting ready nicely. So it's a very happy state of mind. So it's always be good to fall in love.
सारी दुनिया अच्छी लगने लगती है.
That's true. So life becomes very beautiful. And I have Katya sitting there quietly. So Katya, I think you also need to say something about love.
I feel love is when you understand somebody and you let them be as they are. You try to accept them as they are without trying. And in whatever capacity you're loving, whether it's with your relatives, friends, anybody. So that is love, when you allow them to be themselves.
Yes.
So yeah, they all grow that way.
That's true love.
Absolutely.
कुछ नासिर जी के लिए कहिए. You need to say something, right? कमाल है.
आप ही say.
Nothing. You don't have any feelings. Nothing. So, would you like to say something about love?
No, not really. But yes, it's very well said that each has a own definition of love. And I think it's a very, very strong emotion which makes us a better human being. Now, very rightly said that I think Meenuji said she loves Stella more than anybody. And that goes for me also, because I also have pets. And I love them more than anybody. But then again, I do feel the very first person that you need to love is yourself, because only then you'll be able to show affection, care, and humane behavior to another human being. And it is definitely a feeling which has to be nurtured over and over with, I think, huge doses of affection. It needs huge doses of affection and on a repeated basis.
That's right.
So, which makes a relationship stable. That's what I feel about it.
And I think one more last question I would like Ajay Sharma ji to ask. So Ajay Sharma ji, the session on love cannot be complete without your questions and your comments.
नहीं अरे भाई हाथ में गिलास भी है तो. So what was the question, Parul? Parul, what was the question?
The question is talk about love, ask questions about love.
What is your feeling about
What
love?
is your feeling?
What do you think love is?
So love, according to me, is all about understanding. There are times when you don't meet someone, but even after many years when you meet the person, I mean, you have the same feeling for the person. So it's all about feelings and understanding. And वैसे भी we are all big fans of SRK. So anyway, so he was a batch senior to us in Delhi University. But now, most important thing is that I must thank each one of you, for braving this weather for the last. I mean, yesterday also the weather was a bit, and today also. So I would like to thank each one of you, especially our sponsors, our authors. Kevin, you're always there with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Amna, Bharti Di, Meenu, Parul, our authors, and of course our sponsors, Safe Express. Who else? Yes, Himanshu, our friend, my family, Amit. Amit 1, Amit 2, and of course all the lovely audience. Katya, yes. Nasir is not here, but Mrs. Jamal is here. I can see Mrs. Jamal in the lovely pink dress. She's noticing her dress as if she didn't know while she was stepping out. And of course we have Lipika's team here. I'm forgetting the names, but thank you so much for being here. So this is a festival which we started. There's all bunch of young people. And our intention is to invite some of the finest authors from across the country. And, in fact, this year we also had a speaker from Austria yesterday. But the weather but I think the weather is now better, and I think we are going to open it up. And possibly the next session I'll request Amit and team that we can, think about moving to the stage. So thank you once again. And love is all about understanding. Yes, of course, Kevin is here. Kevin is a young prodigy. I don't know how to say that. I keep on saying that young prodigy, and Kevin is Kevin, but he has written books on Indian mythology. So it is such a rare combination. So thank you, Kevin, for being here. And of course, we are going to hear him today. But would you like to say something about love, as Parul insists?
Love is, I've just found love. I just got married, literally 5 months back. My wife is right here. So I think what I've learned, जितना मेरे को सीखा है वही मैं बता पाऊँगा. मतलब, I think love is where you kind of, I think it's about a lot of codependency as well. Like, it's also, it's not the right word to use, dependency, but it's good to be dependent on someone you can trust and who understands you. So, and who that regardless of you being dependent on them, you don't have to feel that you will be judged by them. कि यार ये क्या लीच के तरह बैठ गया है साथ में. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So, absolutely. I think at the end of the day, we are just trying to find someone who we can depend on. So I think that's what I believe is love is. So.
Very true. Very true. Thank you.
So I think we can wind up this session now. And thank you once again, Dr. Shalini, for joining us today. And thank you everyone. We'll move on to the next session. Meenuji.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you, everyone.
So before we say thank you to the author, I'll request our friend from Pools of Art. She's done a beautiful mug on Delhi Literature Festival. I request her to please come on the stage. We also have a friend from Safe Express. You can present yes, of course, to the author. Come here. Thank you so much. Yes. आपने ये लव का सवाल पूछ के मौसम बदल दिया. And of course, we have a friend from Pools of Art. Can you just take out the beautiful, colorful mug which we have prepared for the Delhi Lit Fest? I'll come this side. Amit, keep the team ready. We are moving to the stage. Yeah. So this is the lovely mug. 2 minutes. Amit. So these are small gestures, and we do acknowledge our support from our sponsors and everyone. So thank you, Dr. Malik and Parul, and of course, you have a next session? No.